Goals to Callum Volpe, Jack Long, Kyle Kawamura, Carter Turnbull, Kevin Obsuth, Johnny Evans, Hunter Finlater, and Nathan Kelly make it an 8-2 victory over the Victoria Grizzlies, and the Kings season is off to a flying start. The Kings will salute their fans at center ice. Rocco is out there as well to salute the team. And the Kings 1-0 to start the 2017-2018 season. They did it short-handed as well, without 2 forwards up front, just 10 forwards and 7D to finish the game. 8 different goal scorers. It all started back in the first period with Jack Long, 8:30 in, his first of the year. A wrister from the left circle made it 1-0. Assist to Barad and Kawamura. 2-0 through 20 thanks to Callum Volpe from Evans and Bruce. Shots on goal through 20, 11-8 in favor of the Powell River Kings. And then the offensive explosion in the second period. 1:42 in, Kawamura from Barad and Abbott on the power play. 2 minutes later, Turnbull from Evans and Buono. 2 minutes later, Obsuth from Evans and Turnbull on the power play. 2 minutes after that, Evans from Turnbull and Volpe. That made it 6-0 real quick. The Grizzlies got on the board at 8:46 through number 19, Timothy Friedman. Hunter Finlater restored the lead, the 6-goal lead, to make it 7-1. And that's the way it was through 40 minutes worth of play. Into the third period, teams trading goals, 10:40 in. It was Ethan Nother to make it 7-2. And then Nathan Kelly gets his first BCHL goal at 14:20 to cap an 8-2 rout. We will take a short time out. We will come back in a couple of moments. Brock Sawyer joining us through 60 minutes worth of play with a player of his choosing as well. The Kings celebrating a dominant 8-2 victory over the Victoria Grizzlies. You're listening to Kings Hockey here on 95.7 Coast FM.
back to the rink for every hit, every shot, every goal. Here's Alex Rawnsley.
Welcome back inside the Hat Park Arena. The Kings celebrating an 8-2 victory over the Victoria Grizzlies. Our post-game show live on 95.7 Coast FM. Also live across the Kings social media. We are live video as well. If you go to youtube.com/BCHLKings, you can follow along with our live video. We just got a background loop up there right now, but as soon as our post-game show guests join us, we'll do the live video post-game show, which is something new that we're doing this year. The Kings, a dominant performance from start to finish as they rout the Victoria Grizzlies by a score of 8-2. It all started back in the first period. We were wondering who the first goal would come from. A popular opinion, you'd be forgiven for saying Johnny Evans, leading scorer last year. You'd be forgiven for saying Carter Turnbull. With no disrespect, perhaps one of the lower persons on that list, no goals in the regular season last year, had two pretty crucial ones against the Grizzlies, so maybe deserves a little bit more credit than we gave him for a chance on the first goal. It was Jack Long to open the scoring this season. Colblin's tied up by Pears. Grizzlies come away with it. Now Rome, backhand pass left wing for Thompson, gains center and dumps it in. 8 minutes and change gone here in our first period. Still scoreless. Kawamura right wing. Through the middle for Barad. Kings 3-on-2 down the left side. Barad drops long. Wrist scores! Jack Long, his first of the season. He's got a habit against the Grizzlies, I'll tell you that much, and it made it 1-0. Kings were able to double the lead, though, before the period was out. Callum Volpe made it 2-0. Volpe did the rest. O'Malley now with the puck left corner. To the blue line for Berger. Bobbled it, held the line. Gets it down low, but the Kings there. Evans ahead for Bruce. He'll skate it down the right side. In the across the blue line for Evans. Throws it. Centering. They score! Callum Volpe! Callum Volpe there just finding a puck on the back doorstep and was able to tip it home. His first of the season, and that made it a 2-0 score through 20 minutes worth of play. Shots on goal, 11-8 Powell River. They really controlled that opening 20 minutes worth of play, particularly that opening kind of 5 minutes. Victoria got their feet, but the goal from Long basically set the tone for the rest of the night. So we fast forward now through to our second period. And this is where the onslaught began. It was bang, 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 basically every 2 minutes like clockwork, starting with Kyle Kawamura. Has the 2-0 goal. Abbott, right side, across the line for Kawamura, drops for Barad. Right corner. Backhand behind the net. Kawamura to grab it, left wing. In offensive territory, backhands down low once more behind the net. Barad trying to set up, throws it to the middle. Kawamura, he scores! Kyle Kawamura wound up on his backside, but the puck wound up in the back of the net as the Kings led by a score of 3-0. The assist on the play to Barad, and Abbott came on the man advantage at 1:42. And then, as we mentioned, it was almost like clockwork. 2 minutes later, Carter Turnbull made it 4-0. Kawamura in the second period, joining Long and Volpe in the first. That's your scoring summary. Evans chips it ahead for Turnbull, right wing. Gains speed across attacking blue. Shot, scores! A bullet from Turnbull. An absolute snipe from number 9 in white tonight as Carter Turnbull scoring his first of the year, opening up his account. That came at 3:45, and the Kings led by a score of 4-0. Not done yet. Kings went back to the man advantage not long after, and again 2 minutes later. Tonight, third opportunity begins now. Grizzlies take it away from the face-off and dump it down the ice. So it's 2 minutes for goaltender interference for number 20, Jamie Rome. One of the returning players and one of the leading scorers among returning players. Jamie Rome, 20 goals last year in the penalty box for the second time tonight. Here is Turnbull, backdoor feed, they score. Pretty play. Kevin Obsuth. Kevin Obsuth on the receiving end of a great pretty passing play there between Carter Turnbull and Johnny Evans. They just teed up Obsuth back doorstep. He had to tap it home, stick on the ice, front of the net, and that made it 5-0. The 6-0 goal came not long after through Johnny Evans. Evans will take the draw and win it clean. Bono into the left corner. Backhanded around the wall for Volpe, ahead for Evans, now for Turnbull at the blue line. Drops it off. Evans, wrister, scores! Oh, it's too easy. Yeah, it really was getting that way at that point as Johnny Evans just able to walk down and snap home the 6-0 goal. The Grizzlies got one midway through the period at 14:09 before the Kings were able to restore the 6-goal lead, courtesy Hunter Finlater. Colblins at center gains the red line. Now the attacking blue trying to get that in deep. Partial clear, but grabbed there by Volpe. Shot towards the net, just out of the reach of Bell to scoop it for a second try. Finlater scores! The 6-goal lead restored there. Hunter Finlater made it 7-1. That's the way it stood through 40 minutes worth of play. Shots on goal in the period, 19-6. Two period totals, 30-14. Into the third period, the Grizzlies got one back, but Nathan Kelly again restored that 6-goal lead, made it 8-2. Stevens around it as well. The Grizzlies chip it out to center. Stevens did well to play the body, get it away from Westhaver. Colblin's got through a couple right wing. He's got Bell front of the goal. Colblins holds onto it, delivers, high slot, Kelly, slap pass, they score! Nathan Kelly has a goal! Kelly intended the slap pass to the side of the goal. It redirects off a Grizzly skate and in between the wickets of Parkinson. Yeah, that made it 8-2, and that is your final as we go live on our video post-game show, joined here in our post-game by Kings defenseman Jack Long. Jack, we were saying a little bit earlier on that if we had to put money on who would score the first goal, you might not be at the top of the list there, but you managed to get that one in. Talk us through your first and the Kings' first of the year.
Just breaking out of the puck, and I'm trying to jump up in the play just to bring more offensiveness to my game. And I was just calling for the puck when Benny Berard had it there, and he looked me off a couple times because he thought I was actually a Grizzlies defender, and then he passed to me, and I looked at the net, and I shot, and it just slipped right through the goalie.
We talked about this in camp, the more offensive Jack Long. I noticed in the scrimmages, kind of the informal skates and whatnot, and then in through the first couple of days of camp, you looked a little bit more eager to jump up into the rush, and something that Kent Lewis said in the pregame show as well. He wants his defenseman to be able to do that a little bit more. Yeah,
the coaches are stressing a lot with our D-men jumping in the play this year, and just it's kind of like bringing back an old, just like how I used to play more, just now that I'm getting more and more used to the speed, and I think I can bring that to the table now.
How good did that feel tonight, given the way last year ended, to do that against not only Victoria, but to do it in that kind of fashion against them?
Yeah, Victoria is one of our big rivalry, and to get the first goal of the season in the home opener just right away, it feels pretty good. The win overall, though, I mean, it was complete. I mean, the defenseman jumped in. The forecheck was relentless from the start. You got 8 goals from 8 different goal scorers. That's a pretty that checks a lot of boxes in terms of the way that this team wants to play. Yeah, all in all, the whole game was really well played. Everybody stepped up. The new guys, the veteran returning players, everybody played well, and we got to keep doing that throughout the year and just play as a unit. It didn't impact you too much on the back end, but tough to lose Gavin Rouser early in that game. You went in with 11 forwards, Mitch Williams not dressing tonight. You go down to 10 with Gavin Rouser on that 2 game in the first period there. Talk on the chat on the bench and the adjustments that were required from everybody up and down to be able to try and make sure that Rouser's loss wasn't necessarily felt. Yeah, Gavin is a big loss just because he brings so much energy and keeps us up, and that's half the reason right there that he's a captain. He's a good leader. So, but we picked ourselves up after that and still played well, and everybody did their job. How did it feel out there? I mean, you've played the Grizzlies so many times, regular season, playoffs. You've got more experience against the Grizzlies than just about anybody else on the Kings roster. I'm not sure whether it was the scoreline, the fact that it kind of got out of hand so early in that second period. It didn't necessarily feel like a Kings-Grizzlies game. We didn't get a whole lot of that stuff after the whistle. How was it down at ice level? I think just because they got a pretty new team, they don't really know that rivalry. They're not playing really feisty with us this year. Usually it's battle with them, but I think just with all their new players, they don't know us as a rival yet. You'll see them again. We'll talk about tomorrow night, obviously, but you'll see them again November 11th. So there is a little bit of a gap between there. It makes the doubleheader all that much more important. It kind of really sets the tone, for that season series. Talk to us about, I guess, the chemistry and the makeup of a doubleheader, and we began to see a little bit of pushing and shoving at whistles and stuff like that as the score for tonight was sort of settled. Look ahead to, I guess, tomorrow and how you felt the game finished here tonight. I don't think the game got too out of hand. Again, just because new players. They don't know the rivalry. But with double headers, maybe later on in the season, they can get pretty out of hand. You can hold grudges with other guys, and then it can just be right off the start. It could be just a mean game.
Jack, congratulations. Goal number 1.
Thank you.
Add that one to the list. You had a pretty nice one in Alberni for your 16th birthday a couple of years ago. This one, not too bad as well. First of the season. Congratulations. Thanks for coming up. That is Kings defenseman Jack Long. We're going to get him to trade out. Brock Sawyer is up here with us as well now, although he has disappeared just a little bit. Brock, we're going to get you on air here. We are live. It's easy to do this, and it's easy to have a bit of fun with this after an 8-2 win. We'll turn your microphone on. Get that microphone right up close to your mouth there. If you are tuning in as well, if you watched on Hockey TV, you can find us youtube.com/BCHL Kings. If you're driving home, don't watch and drive, but we are streaming the video post-game show. We're going to be doing this every single game throughout the regular season here, home and away. So you get to a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at a broadcast spot around the league and chats like we just had with Jack. And we'll have now with Brock. Let's start. I thought that opening 5 minutes, the Kings came out flying. I mean, the forecheck was relentless. The Grizzlies came back a little bit, kind of minutes 6 and 7, maybe got their legs under them. But that forecheck just really set the tone for the rest of the game.
Definitely. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of excitement, our home opener, and great fan support again tonight as usual. So, no, I mean, our start was key. Obviously, there's a lot of jitters, a lot of guys playing their first game. And, we knew it was at stake. Obviously, it's kind of sat in our stomachs, a pit there all summer, and knowing how we ended our season last year, against these guys. And, I mean, I thought about it right before the game. We lost our first game of the season down in Victoria last year, and we played our first game and our last game against them. So, if that's the case this year, hopefully, win here and we eliminate them at the end of the season. But, I mean, that's a long ways away. Obviously, our journey started here tonight, and our first 5 minutes was our focus, and that's what we needed to really stress. And our forecheck came out. Guys were energetic. They had some jump, and, obviously a little overzealous on the forecheck by Gavin. Ends up getting a check from behind call, and we lose him. But, that's an easy one to kill for guys. Obviously they feed off his energy, and, named our captain yesterday. So, a nice honor for him, but obviously not the way he wanted his first game to go. But, no, I mean, it was, it was a great team effort all around.
The first goal there by Jack and the defense overall in that first period. I mean, Kent highlighted in the pregame show how much he wanted the blue line to jump up into the rush and to be a little bit more offensive and be a little bit more aggressive. You couldn't really ask for much more out of that than 2 goals from Long and from Volpe in that first period.
No, for sure. I mean, it's nice when you have guys who can skate, and we're a very mobile back end, and we do have a lot of speed up front as well. So obviously, it's stressing with our D to execute and to jump and move the puck quick. I mean, we want to play fast, and that's get the puck and get going back on the offense as best we can with good puck possession. So, obviously Jack jumping up in the play, and then Volpe as well. I mean, nice pass backdoor by Johnny, and just got enough on it. But I mean, that's what we're looking for, and you got to create your opportunities with speed and puck possession. And the game's changed so much. You have to make it a 4 or 5 man attack to really work to get up the ice after you do your own job in the D zone to get up the ice and join the rush, and good things happen.
On pace for just under a 240-point season. I think that's a little unrealistic, but Johnny Evans, a 4-point night tonight, seemed to have real good chemistry, obviously with Carter Turnbull, but the mix in there with Kevin Obsuth I really liked.
No, for sure. I mean, Kevin's a big body, and he's got some good speed and creates some space for those 2 little guys to buzz around. And, I mean, Johnny's just, he sees the ice so well, and he can dish it and he can shoot it, obviously. I think he threw a curveball in there to score his first goal of the season, but I mean, they don't ask how, they ask how many, right? So, no, I mean, a good effort by him and Carter moving his feet, creating opportunities in space. I mean, he's very shifty, but, for Kevin Obsuth coming in, playing his first BCHL game and contributing, and, a great back check by him to disrupt a 3-on-2 again, same in the second period by Johnny. That's just older guys who've been at this level and played, in junior for a few years, and, know they have to set an example for the younger guys who are in their first game. And, I mean, points are points, but, with those guys, I mean, they create so many opportunities just by using their speed. But, once they stop cheating in the defensive zone and really, become 400-foot players, I mean, look out. I mean, you mentioned 4 points, but there's room for improvement in their game for sure. And lucky to get the first one here tonight just by working hard and throwing pucks on net.
Everyone chipped in. I mean, you got 8 goals from 8 different goal scorers. Every line contributed. You got first goals for Kawamura, for Obsuth, as you mentioned. Kelly getting one right at the end there as well. It was a little reminiscent of that Cowichan game where you got contributions and you got a mix and you got a team which is truly 4 lines here.
For sure. I mean, obviously, one with 11 forwards and 7D tonight. But, no, I mean, every time you got guys contributing, I mean, I think that Koblenz and Bell and I believe it was Bruce there at the end, after they scored their second, came out and just, were hard on pucks down low. And, we're physical and taking the body and separating the D-man from the puck. And we were getting possession and, getting a lot of shots. They were working hard to get the puck up to our D and going to the front of the net. So, it was a good team effort and a lot of speed and a lot of tenacity. And you could tell guys wanted to play upbeat and give our fans, what they deserve. And that's a win to open the season here on home ice. So, I think it's last year we definitely didn't win the home opener. So
yeah, it was 5th game in.
Yeah, so it was definitely a nice change of events here for us. But no, I mean, hats off to our guys. They've worked hard since they got here into town. 2 months ago, or sorry, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and obviously exhibition. You kind of play a lot of guys and give them experience to wear a jersey. But guys know the tradition here and they know what's at stake and what's expected day in and day out. So we've had some great practices preparing, and fun part is we get to do it all again tomorrow. And
that's where I want to leave here is obviously tomorrow. I mean, this is great. It's an 8-2 win. It's important, though, not to get too high on this. I mean, it is game 1 of 58. There is a long way to go. Talk to us, I guess, about tomorrow and what the message is to the playing group down in the room to make sure this doesn't blow out of proportion here.
No, exactly. I mean, obviously we enjoy this one here for a little bit, and we wake up tomorrow, it's another game day, and we have another job at stake. So obviously they're going to go home back to the hotel and dissect some video and have a bit of a sour taste in their mouth tonight, and knowing they didn't show up to give their best effort. So hey, it's it's a new day, and on any given day any team can beat anybody else. So I mean, we have to come in and execute and be just as good, if not better, tomorrow, because as the season wears on, it's just going to get harder and harder. And our guys know that, and you can't take a night off. So I mean, if we can keep playing consistently, and good things will happen for us.
Brock, I appreciate you coming up here and doing this. Congratulations on the win, and thank you for bringing Jack up as well. Much appreciated.
Yeah, no worries. And I got to say, great to have you back, and obviously in your new booth. So
yeah, we did some remodeling and a little bit of renovations. We've actually changed rooms over here, so it's.
I know. I think there's
a little bit more functional space.
The smile hasn't come off your face since they approved the
Still not quite sure how that happened.
Taking out the window and fiddling it up, but no, it's nice and great to have you back, and obviously. All the video work you've been doing and keeping our fans up to date. So thank you, and for everybody on the drive home, thank you very much for your support. And
great crowd tonight. 938 sounded a lot bigger, but great crowd tonight.
No, definitely. So to everybody who was there, obviously come out again tomorrow. It's supposed to rain, which is perfect for a Saturday at 5 o'clock start. So hopefully we'll see everybody again tomorrow. So
Kings assistant coach Brock Sawyer joining us here in our post-game show. Thank you very much. And for those of you joining us on our Facebook or YouTube Live, we'll leave you now, and you can catch the full recap on this game on PowellRiverKings.com later on.